Hi there, and welcome to the 20 podcast. I'm Karl, and this alongside me is my co-host Doug. Doug, good evening to you. How you doing?
Yeah, doing a lot better, mate. It's been a bit of a hellish last couple of weeks, obviously with me being ill, but it's good to finally be back. I am still slightly under the weather, slightly, but not getting better. And always a pleasure doing this show with you. Sorry, I was just vibing along at that intro there. Um,
Yeah,
it's quite a nice wee tune actually. I'm just still getting used to obviously Talk Studio because obviously we've moved over, but no, good to be back with you, and yeah, I hope you're doing well.
yeah, not too
Um,
bad, not too bad. It's been what a week I've had to go through a lot personally, but I think getting out, trying to distract myself from everything after with our good friend Fee who sadly passed away. But at
yeah,
least it's helped to like. And do you know what I did on Sunday? Because I usually would have done the championship review. I went to go watch a women's ice hockey for the first time at the Murrayfield Arena on Sunday, so it was actually quite really good. And because one of my old uni friends plays for the team, so it was a good game. Yeah.
fair play. It's nice. It's nice to sort of get out and try new things, and obviously ice hockey is one of them. So no, fair play to you, mate. Hope you enjoyed it, and obviously it'll be a good experience that you can say that you've obviously been to, and also it'll allow you to possibly go a lot more as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the next home game is not going to be till April. Home game not till April, I think, because the Caledonian Still Queens are playing away for most of the next few months. So yeah, they're going to be way up, pretty much down to the north and middles of England. So they're going to be quite busy now away, but we won't see the till at least April now. So it'll be good anyway. So yeah.
Nah, fair play.
Absolutely. Let's get on to the first game. And then it was a big one of the big weekend games. And I have to say, Man United get winning 3-2 against Arsenal, back-to-back wins to Michael Carrick. And what a goal from Patrick Dogu, and it hit the crossbar, went in, and then Mateus Cunha getting the winner as well after Arsenal did take the lead through an own goal by Lissandro Martinez, and Mercury did get the equaliser in the 84th minute, with Baron Bell getting the equaliser just before half time. And Doug, let's start with Manchester United. A huge win, a back-to-back win for Michael Carrick. Beating Man City the week before, and now beating Arsenal. Arsenal's first home defeat of the season. Was Man United feeling a little bit more the Man United of old a little bit?
They're playing with a lot more freedom. I think you can kind of see that Michael Carrick's let the shackles off almost. It's like they've got like a bit of a freedom. I'll be honest. I think in our Super group, I was the only one actually to predict the Manchester United win.
Yeah.
I just had a feeling for them on Sunday. I don't know why. I don't know what sort of inspiration came out of me to basically predict that, but um, I just had a feeling United would win that. Obviously, the fantastic performance against Manchester City, credit aside, obviously, I know Man City were very, very poor, but this game, I think I'd probably say that's Arsenal's worst performance of the season at home. I didn't think they were great. I thought Man United absolutely outplayed them. Um, Obviously, they take the lead for a very fortuitous own goal from Lissandro Martinez, but Zubimendi giving Brian Mbeumo an absolute present, and then scoring, and then probably two of the goals of the season. I mean, Dorgu's one is an absolute belter. Remind me of Gareth Bale actually a long time ago. I think it's Swansea.
Yeah.
Or West Brom, obviously when he was with Spurs, and then in Cunha, that was an unbelievable finish to basically curl it into the corner. But again, it's kind of asking the question: who was like wanting to close him down first things first. And I know Arsenal obviously got the equaliser as well from Mikel Moreno, obviously from a corner as well, but. I think it was Jamie Carragher that said Arsenal don't have a superstar up the front of the pitch. Now, I have to say, this is one of the only times I think I would probably agree with them. Gyökeres and Jesus are no superstars. They don't have a Salah, and they don't have a Holland, They definitely don't have a Hazard. They certainly don't have like an Henry, a Bergkamp, just someone who could get you out of sticky situations. And I think Arsenal have been kind of the cracks. I think have been starting to show. So I think it's papering over the cracks. Really, I think they've been very, very fortunate at home this season. There's been a couple of games where I saw them. I think Forest away, they parked the bus to get a 0-0 draw. There was another game that they drew recently that they were very, very poor at.
It was against Nottingham Forest, yeah.
Not Forest, yeah. And then Sunday's game against Manchester United, I thought United thoroughly deserved to win. Even Arteta said that at the end there. I think the one thing would worry me though, some of the stats coming out of that game. Saka, no goals in 13 games in all competitions. Gyökeres, no non-penalty game goals in 15 games, I think it was.
Yeah.
Man Utd, no goals in 25 appearances for Arsenal. And Martinelli, I think it's 1 goal in his last 17, I think, in the Premier League or something. Obviously, don't quote me on that one, but Arsenal seem like I said a couple of weeks ago that it was theirs to lose. It's still theirs to lose. But I think you're kind of seeing now that they don't really have that clinical edge in front of goal. I know Holland has had a bit of a barren spell recently for City. We'll obviously get onto City in a wee moment. But see, set pieces, I think, is where they're going to have to really rely on getting their goals. Because at this moment in time, and there was a couple of Arsenal content creators as well that said it. Why are we shooting from the outside the box? How many times did Arsenal get the Manchester United penalty area and basically just try and find that perfect pass across goal? I feel sorry for Victor Gyökeres. Look, I'll be honest. I said 1 week that he's going to be a flat track bully. That he'll basically score against the sort of the non so big clubs. And he'll struggle against the really, really big clubs. Liverpool home and away, he struggled. Manchester United home and away, struggled. Chelsea, it was a tap-in, let's be honest. It was a tap-in in that big cup. City struggled. So Spurs struggled. So you feel sorry for the guy. But I think you've got to say that that defeat's been coming for Arsenal. That defeat has been coming for Arsenal, but take nothing away from Manchester United. Thoroughly deserved to win. And I think the United strand might actually be in a haircut because I looked at their next couple of fixtures and Fulham at home on Sunday.
Yep.
Spurs, I think. I can't remember the other one, but he's looking good for a potential haircut. Finally, it's going to be weird to see his hair after that. But
I know.
Just got to give you a wee shout out, young United strand, because I know that you've been dying for a haircut. But yeah, Manchester United thoroughly deserve to win against Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, that hair needs to go, and I think if they do win the next three more games, he'll restore relief. And I bet he would just donate his hair to charity as well, to Shape for Charity, because it has been a very good, for over nearly 2 years. Yeah, it's just incredible that amount of hair has grown since then.
Absolutely, but no, a really, really good win for Man United. I suppose the only really sort of downwards thing about this game, Patrick Dorgu's out for 10 weeks, which is a massive, massive blow because I think they've found his position now.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
left wing. I think he definitely thrives more left wing than he does at left wing back. So I think having him at left wing has been a masterstroke. And obviously, Carrick can obviously see that because he played that at Lecce, and obviously Amarim wanted him to play as a left wing back, but he's definitely more left winger than he is a left wing back. So big blow, but it's about someone who can come up and obviously take his place. But I'm sure Manchester United will be fine for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go to the title rivals, Man City, who closed the gap to 4 points to Arsenal after a 4-game winning streak ended this past weekend with a 2-0 win against Wolves. First goal of the season for Omar Mamouche in the 6th minute, and Anton Semedo scored his first City goal in the Premier League just before half time as well. Doug, it was back to a little bit winning ways for City. Uh, it was quite an easy game for them because I know Pep has suffered so much of not winning any of their 4 league games at the start of 2026, but they needed that win to close the gap before Arsenal lost their game on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's massive to get back to 4 points, and obviously, I don't think they would have expected Arsenal to have lost to Manchester United, but there we go. We all kind of knew that was going to be a tricky game for Arsenal. So yeah, City just had to win. I suppose headline news, obviously, Foden and Holland on the bench, which I think is deserved because I think both of them have been really out of sorts recently.
Yeah.
Mark Guehi is going to be a very good signing for City. I think you can already see that he was a potent menace in both boxes.
He needed a chance to score his first goal in the game as well from the header as well.
He was very unlucky. He was very, very unlucky. Good to see Marmoush on the score sheet. I think didn't quite have the best AFCON, if I'm being honest. No. I think Salah was probably the best player of Egypt, I would say. And then obviously Semenyo, who has started like a house on fire, he's done very, very well. But I suppose the decision to not award City a penalty. Yeah, what did you make of that?
I think he was very clear communication. The referee made his debut. I think he got given credit because usually would have just crumbled, but he didn't. He made the right decision, and I think I know that was a very courageous call from Farid Hallam. Because he was a footballer. He was a footballer for Stevenage not too long ago, a couple of years ago. So to make that debut, and you know what? I think you got, without the doubt, Darren Khan said it was the right decision, and he stuck with his on-field decision of no handball. So I think it was the right decision. And it's about time they stood up to VAR as well too, because I think it's been. I think some referees have just fallen into it that scenario. But where he said, as a former footballer who's a referee, it helps quite a lot to try to improve the game.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, it's great. It's great to see referees doing that. I think we need to see that a lot more because when the referees are basically brought over to the monitor, you always think, oh, it's going to be like a penalty kick, going to be like a red card, etc. Now, I'll be honest. I thought it was a penalty. I did actually think that his arm was outstretched, Mosquera. I did think his arm was outstretched, but. Look, he has made a mistake on his debut, but apart from that, I thought he refereed the game pretty well. And you want to see that. You want to see that from upcoming refs. Look, he might have made a mistake, but look, I think fair play to him for actually not going with the VAR decision because not many refs do that.
No,
not many refs do that. So yeah, but I did think that was a penalty kick, and then Pep's coming out complaining about refs. Look, I think City have had a few contentious decisions recently. Obviously Dalot on Doku, which I think injured Doku. I don't think he actually played on when they played Bodo Glimt. So,
no.
So you can understand that, and then obviously the penalty decision on the weekend there. So no, look, it's a very, very good win for them, and they are back to winning ways. Wolves, I think this is one of those games where you'd be like, well, free hit, we can get anything. It's an absolute bonus. I don't think they played particularly bad. It was just a case of City being very, very clinical in the end, but. I do think if you look at what Wolves have got coming up, In fact, City have actually got to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday, and then they go to Anfield the following Sunday. So some very, very tough games coming up for them.
Yeah, they do have some very tough games coming up for them as well, especially after that they're at home to Fulham, and Fulham been a good decent run as well. And then the week after, around 20th, so they got Newcastle at home, and then they finish the end of the month away to Leeds United at the end of February as well. So yeah, it's gonna be some interesting games how Pep deals with it, especially where Man City are going to be mainly with the Champions League situation as well, if they do qualify for the top 8 or not. So that is going to be quite interesting how they deal with the fixture arrangements coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Arsenal go to Elland Road on Saturday, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, I think Elland Road might be a ground where I wouldn't say the title's decided, but it's certainly going to be tough games for Arsenal and City, because Elland Road is a really, really close, compact stadium. So the crowd is right on you. So yeah, going to be a very interesting couple of games for both Arsenal and City.
Yeah, it will be as well too. Right, let's move on to the game on Saturday Night Football at the Vitality. And Doug, I'm going to let you take this away because I think for you this is your this is your match review.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? I think first things first, we didn't play well. Didn't play well at all. I thought Bournemouth definitely deserved their win. I think it's been coming for a couple of weeks that their wins were going to come. The longest uninspiring unbeaten run is over. Virgil van Dijk's had his worst game in a Liverpool shirt. Simple as that. Fought for all 3 goals. I don't know what he's doing with the first one. Just basically kick it out of play or put it out for a throw. Decides to do neither and allow Alex Scott to play Evan Nielsen in. Second one, Jimenez is adjudged to be offside, but actually Van Dijk is the last man to do that. And then we get back into the game. Van Dijk from a header, which was a great header, I've got to say. And then Szoboszlai scored a very, very good free kick. But yeah, Adley at the end. I'm going to say something that I don't know if this is controversial, but 5 wins in our last 18 league games. And now this is since September. This isn't good enough. 5 wins, 6 draws, 7 defeats. And before that game against Bournemouth, we had drawn the last 4. We're 17th in the league form table. It's just not good enough. And the next 3 games, Karabag, Newcastle, and Manchester City, they're very, very tough games. They're very, 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 very tough games. And the proposed move for Andy Robertson to go to Spurs is an absolute disgrace. Like, why are we trying to sanction this? I will never know. Yes, I understand that he probably wants a new challenge to obviously play ahead of the World Cup, but we need Robertson badly, to say the very, very least. Players are not performing. Simple as that. I'm just befuddled by how poor we've actually been this season. People are saying it's the worst title defense ever. Like, if you look through the years that the Premier League has been going, then I think you probably look at Leicester 16-17, Chelsea 15-16. I don't think we're going to finish as low as they did, but it's certainly not been a great season. And Arne Slot it's definitely feeling the pressure. Definitely feeling the pressure. I said a couple of weeks ago that I really hope he turns this around. But it is starting to feel like as more of the Alonso rumors sort of ramp up, everyone's going to, say, I do feel sorry in that aspect. I think the media are I need to be careful what I say here, but sort of a black mark on the whole situation with Alonso, and I've zoomed out from his press conferences because he keeps repeating himself. Like he's like today against in the Carabag press conference, he said something along the lines of, "Oh, PSG, like we had like a week to prepare or a week to train, like after we were out of the Champions League."
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, our form since that game has been nothing short but shocking. Really, really bad. We haven't won in 2026. Karabag, as I said, in the Champions League to finish in the top 8, which will be a success, because after the defeats to Galatasaray and PSV, I wasn't sure what was happening. But the football is it's not great. It's not great to watch, unfortunately. I don't agree with some of the stuff that's been coming out this week about Arne Slot. People have been saying that they are comparing him to Hodgson and Rodgers. Come on, those two didn't win a Premier League title. Slot did. He's never going to be Klopp. So we'll always be thankful for him to obviously win the Premier League. But I think the more the season goes on, I think it's more and more likely that Arne Slot probably won't be Liverpool manager come the summer. But we'll wait and see. And as Ben Jacobs said, they're keeping him. The Liverpool have no right to want to basically get rid of Slot, and I totally understand it. We have to get behind the manager. We have to get behind the players. But there's some fans on social media that have just had enough, and I totally get it. But I wouldn't sort of want to be one of those online people and basically, criticize Slot and basically, say that he, compared to Hodgson and Rodgers is really just stupid as far as I'm concerned. So, but fair play to Bournemouth. I said it a couple of weeks ago. They were looking to get a couple of wins recently, and they did it the weekend. So fair play to them. And yeah, it kind of eases their relegation troubles. I didn't really think they were in a relegation battle, but as you said, they are second, winning 15 games. It's a big relief for them.
Yeah, a huge relief for both to get their win. Which has been coming for a while, but I say Liverpool's unbeaten run. It was not even really was it classic. It was just so predictable as well. I'd have to say is the writing on the wall for Slot. If not, but when is going to be the question now going forward. And with these Alonso rumors is going to keep piping up. It's going to be interesting how things will go, especially which is the Champions League against Corbeil tomorrow, but. Again, because of the big game they have this weekend as well against Newcastle on Saturday, which is going to be quite interesting. But the week after, it's Man City. It's Man City on a Sunday, and that's going to be a huge game that could determine Slot's future completely.
It could really do. Newcastle and City will fancy their chances coming to Anfield. I know City have got a really poor record at Anfield. Obviously, they haven't won at Anfield in front of fans since 2003, 2004. So, at Newcastle, goodness me, you're going to have to go back mid-90s, I think, since they last beat us.
Yeah, that's why. Mid-90s.
Yes. Yeah. So I think they'll fancy their chances. The surprising thing for me, actually, this would be typical Liverpool, right? We go and beat Karabag, we go beat Newcastle, and then we beat City, and then we go and either draw or lose to Sunderland the week after.
That would be interesting with that one. It would be interesting if that would be a surprise. We'll see over the next couple of weeks as well. Let's go down to the bottom of the table, to the London Stadium. West Ham beating Sunderland 3-1 after a fantastic performance, first half performance from the Hammers, where the Sesko Somerville scored in the first goal for West Ham, and then penalty scored by Jared Bourne, and what wonder strike from Mateus Fernandes to make it 3-0 before halftime. Before Brian Bobby's consolation headed in from the Mukwele's cross for Sunderland in the second half. And Doug, before we get up to Forest as well, West Ham moved 2 points clear safety on Saturday, closer to the Forest on Saturday. It's been a bit of a turnaround, especially the rumours with some of the players wanted to leave as well. We know that Matt Paqueta is close to going to join Flamengo in the next couple of days, but West Ham are looking like they're getting a bit of a decent run at the moment.
Getting a wee bit of momentum, aren't they? Obviously, winning at Tottenham last week was huge, and then this game there was a very, very good win. I thought they were dead and buried when they lost to Nottingham Forest the other week there, but no, giving themselves a bit of a fighting chance. I thought West Ham were very, very good in this game. Got the early goal from Somerville, and then Jared Bowen, great penalty. You've got to say, great penalty down in the bottom corner. Fernandes was a fantastic strike. And then I suppose Sunderland fans could probably say they won the second half because it wasn't a great performance from them at all. But then again, I kind of look at Sunderland, and Xhaka was a big miss. Big miss, I would say. And they might have a wee issues for sure. But one thing they can say, they're the only unbeaten home side in the Premier League this season.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Is absolutely crazy when you think about it.
It is actually, especially with Arsenal's road that came to an end on Sunday. At least Sunday, they're the only team still left standing for the home with the home form at the moment. So, even though they had their weight issues at the moment, but good win for West Ham. Gameplay, and I think with Nuno getting Adama Traore in, I think that's going to be important for the West Ham. They need that pace up front, But I think if they're going to keep players like James Ward-Prowse, who's looked like he was going to go to Burnley, I think he's needed, especially with Paqueta leaving. He needs players that is going to need to try to stay points on the safety of the other teams that are above them at the moment.
Absolutely, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how well they'll do, West Ham. But it comes to a bit of a fighting chance. I think we're kind of seeing now Burnley and Wolves are probably going to be cast adrift. I think it's going to be between those two now, of Forest and West Ham potentially. Maybe someone else gets dragged into it, but what I would say on that is the Leeds seem to be picking up a bit of form, which is good to see. Bournemouth are obviously starting to get wins now, and I think it's very, 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 very good to see. I mean, Tottenham are down there, but you'd probably expect them to sort of stave off relegation. But if West Ham can get another couple of wins, then they're right back in with a shout for sure.
Yeah, they could be in a shot for sure. Indeed. Let's go to St. James's Park. What a win for Aston Villa to win 2-0 against Newcastle. Villa's first win at St. James's Park since 2005 with the infamous incident between Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer, and Magpies missed a chance to close the gap to Liverpool. Again, Doug, they, come over a week after losing to Everton, Emery came out with very weird post-match interview stuff, and then somehow to get them to win 2-0, that was a huge win for them. It's such a good goal from Emin Buendia in the first goal, and then the header from Ollie Watkins as well. And Villa still has a chance in the title race because they make some signings, and Tammy Abraham is now back at the club after joining from Besiktas after he was at Roma on loan, and we're hearing that Douglas Luiz is close to rejoining them as well on loan from Juventus. Yeah. It's interesting that they've had Villa have still closed the gap, still in the title despite that despite a difficult week they had.
Yeah, it's a very, very good win away. Obviously, Fenerbahce. Was it Fenerbahce?
Yeah,
Fenerbahce. Jadon Sancho scored, which is yeah, that's a rarity in itself. Um, fair play to Villa. Obviously had about 72 hours preparation for this game. Um, Very good goal from Bundy, as you said. Again, just like the Cunha goal, who's wanting to like close him down? That would be my main thing. I would say. And then obviously Ollie Watkins gets the second, which is a very good header, I've got to say. But Tam Abraham, they say you should never fall in love with a lone player. He's obviously back there now permanently. Very, very interesting way of saying it though. Like I've from what I understand is that basically his loan was made permanent from Roma to Besiktas, and
yeah,
then Villa signed him. It's very, very strange how that worked out. But
yeah. It
good,
is strange.
good to see him back in the Premier League. And then Douglas Luiz lost his way at Forest, didn't really get a game there. And I think it's a very, very good move to bring him back to Aston Villa. And I think he will thrive in that midfield, especially with the injuries to Yuri Tillemans, John McGinn,
Yeah.
Super John McGinn. Sorry, I've got to say that. I was a Scotsman, and Kamara. Three really big players that they've missed out as well. Newcastle. It's a consistency, isn't it? We Newcastle. I mean, their next three is just hellish. I
Yeah.
think it's obviously Paris Saint-Germain away, Liverpool away, City away. That's really, really tough. Obviously, City will be the second leg of the Carabao
Yeah, the second leg of the Carabao
Cup. I think
Cup.
they're already out.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a worry for that one as well for Newcastle with their form at the moment, and especially I just don't think they'll sign any players before the end of the transfer window.
No, I don't see it either.
Yeah, it's a huge worry for Newcastle. Well, what a win for Villa after 72 hours had to prepare after winning against Fenerbahce in the Europa League as well. Let's go on to Turf Moor. Oh, what a rescue! What a point! What an end to the game with Christian Romero rescuing a point for Spurs after Burnley nearly get their first win after nearly got their first win in 14 games after a 2-2 draw. Doug, Burnley, had a very good chance to win the game, and somehow Thomas Frank is still a bit under pressure, despite the one against Borussia Dortmund last week in the Champions League. They're still under pressure. What's going on? Like I said, where they are at the table at the moment.
Who have they got in the Champions League this week?
Oh, so they are right. So in the Champions League, I think they have got. Just get the fixtures up now. They are away to Eintracht Frankfurt.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, Spurs are Spurs. It's just simple thing there is to say that. Again, a bit like Arsenal, their defenders are scoring goals. It's not their strikers; it's their defenders. Because obviously Mickey van den Ven scored and Romero scored a really good header. I've got to say, but Burnley, as you said, winless in 14 games. It's looking a bit bleak for them, and especially with West Ham continually winning and Forest continually winning, that gap is slowly going to increase as the weeks go by. I just don't think they've got enough to stay up. Unfortunately, I see they're signing James Ward-Prowse though. I seen.
There was talks, but I think they look like it was cancelled because I don't know if it's a situation with Lucas Paqueta's leaving that has to. So I don't know what's happening with that one. So it'll be interesting. But I know they were still linked with him, so I don't know if that deal will get done. That's going to be the questionable part now.
He'd be a good signing. Obviously, if they get a free kick, then obviously he'll take them. But I don't know if it's quite the signing that they need. I think it's more strikers probably that they need. I think they're fine with goalkeeper because Dubravka's a really good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker's had his critics, but you've got to say that that cross for the first goal on Saturday, what a ball that was to
Yeah, it was. Yeah, good.
Juan Zabi of all people as well, which was quite surprising as well. So and obviously Lyle Foster got the goal, very scrappy goal, but he will take it. But I think it's more forward players that Burnley need.
Well, especially if you, like I said, because now the James Ward-Prowse deal is now back on because it was called off, but it's now back on. It could, but they do need some strike of force up front because they are one of the lowest goal scorers, pretty much.
Broja's know the answer.
No,
I'm sorry. Any time I've seen Armando Broja in this league, just doesn't cut it. Doesn't cut
no.
it as a Premier League striker for me. Just very, 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 very strange signing to make. Obviously, they got Ugo Chukwu as well, but again, I don't think he's a striker. I think he's more of like a box to box player. I don't think he's more of a striker. So Burnley definitely need to add something up front before the window closes. So we'll see what will happen in like the last hours of the transfer window, but I'm a little bit concerned for Burnley because the more the weeks go on, I've got a feeling that their light is probably going to go out.
Yeah, it's a huge worry as well for Burnley, especially with the gaps now increasing between them, West Ham, and even Nottingham Forest above them as well too. So yeah, be interested to see how that will pan out in the next couple of weeks as well. Let's go on to Selhurst Park, and what a win for Chelsea! They beat Crystal Palace 3-1 after it started really inspired the Blues. But Doug, let's go to Crystal Palace. What a mess it has been for for quite a couple of weeks now. With Gray, leaving to join Man City. Overglass had not renewed his contract not going to renew his contract, leave it in the season. Then you have Jean-Philippe Mateta who wants to leave, even though he's not had any transfer requests. What the hell has gone on at Selhurst Park? It's just such a bit of mess since all that those two statements came out, those press statements came out on the same day. All the European spots as well. They try to put a bid of nearly £40 million for Jean-Philippe Mateta. It's just so much craziness going for Palace. I just don't know how they can get themselves out of this.
I think if Mateta goes to Forest, Glasner's gone.
Yeah.
I honestly, why would you go to Forest? Now, no disrespect to Nottingham Forest, but Palace are still in the Conference League. I think they've got a really good chance of winning that. I really, really do. But if Mateta goes, that would honestly say to me, if Mateta does leave for Nottingham Forest, that would be very, very. That would be the last straw with a lot of fans, especially with the history between the two. Obviously, we know that what's happened there. I think they play each other actually in a couple of weeks, if my memory serves me correctly. So, but again, do I see that happening? I'm not sure because again, Palace have they got the funds to get somebody else in? I don't think
they will. I can't think they can at this time.
I don't think they do. So I think Mateta is probably there until the summer. I think you can get a better move other than Forest, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they do play actually this weekend.
Oh. Yeah, that I just can't see for the life of me, Carl, why Mateta would want to go to Forest. I just do not see that one bit. But again, we're obviously talking about Palace, so I think you've got to say Chelsea under Liam Senior. I actually tweeted the other week there, and I know obviously you're off X at the moment, and probably for good.
Forever, mate. Forever, ever, forever,
forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye. But I actually tweeted this the other day. So I said Manchester United are already looking at a different side, playing with a lot more freedom. Same with Chelsea under Liam Senior. We, as in Liverpool, are in a battle for Champions League this season. Harsh reality, but these two are showing how a team should be properly coached and the way to play football. Chelsea under a senior, I think, have been fantastic. I think they've been really, really good. And again, he's given them the freedom to play. Maresca kind of is very, very slow, very, very intepid. But I think the thing with Liam Senior is he's came in. Chelsea are playing with a lot more freedom, and obviously you saw Estevao, which is a very, very good, good goal. The penalty decision,
Yeah.
see, I'm not sure that's a pen.
No, I don't think it was a penalty. I understand what the referee said. It was accidental handball, but I don't think it was a penalty.
I don't think it was a penalty. I think it's more really bad publicity for Darren England, who, let's be honest, I don't think he's really recovered since the Luis Diaz decision at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
And I think it's a shame that, sorry, get your words out, Douglas. It is a shame that he is getting bad publicity, but unfortunately, that's what he's going to be remembered by. But Palace, look, I said a couple of weeks ago when Glasner came out after the Sunderland game, I was very, very angry. I'm amazed he's still there.
Yeah, so am I.
I think if Mateta is sold before Monday's deadline to Forest, that will be the last straw for me. And I think he will leave. I think he will part ways because I think there's just been a communication breakdown with the board. I think there's been a communication breakdown with Steve Parish, Mark Bright.
Yeah. The damage is done. The damage is done. It's beyond repairable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is beyond repairable. But I do have to say, very good win for Chelsea. Yeah, Liverpool are in a battle for top 4, top 5, definitely in a battle. And Chelsea are playing some nice stuff, playing some really, really nice stuff. So, but Palace, yeah, you've got to feel for them. They are going slowly down the league, I noticed.
Yeah, especially with Adam Watson getting a second yellow card, and it's a question about his future because the players that he's playing. You just look at about 2 years ago, there were 4 Crystal Palace players in the England squad.
Yeah,
and now there's at least 1.
Yeah, Wharton, and that's the problem that they have. Obviously, Guehi would have been the second one, but it's not looking good for Crystal Palace. But I think, as I said, I think we both kind of agree. But if Mateta goes to Forest, then Glasner is going to basically say part ways because, as you say, it is non-repairable. But again, who goes in there at this time? Do they get an interim?
I think there's one name that could happen, and it depends if he comes or wait till the summer. And he's Palace through and through. It probably will have to be Gareth Southgate. That would be the only option I could think of at this moment in time. That would just make so much sense. And I said this to Stefan the other week about this, where we did that breaking news about that, about what all the stuff that came out. So yeah, it's a lot that I think there's going to be. I think Southgate is waiting in the wings at the moment.
I agree. I think it could well be. It could be well be that thing. But yeah, Palace are going down the league rapid pace, and it's very, very worrying to. Hopefully, they will obviously arrest that slide and see what they can do. But yeah, that's a big game of the weekend on in Forest Palace. I mean, there'll be fireworks. There will be probably a lot of banter between the two. There'll probably be songs sung about Maranakis, Parish, you name it. So yeah, I think there could be fireworks at the City Ground on Saturday.
It could be fireworks with the game on Sunday, and then the deadline day on Monday. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fireworks. I'm going to enjoy. It's going to be box office. Let me tell you that one. It will be. Let's get to that promoted game at the GT Stadium. Nottingham Forest, getting a win at Brentford, winning 2-0. Brentford losing a second home game this season. Goals from Adrian Jesus and Tyra Aori scores late to seal the victory. And really good hopes up for Nottingham Forest with a survival major boost, because after they lost in the Europa League on Thursday, after not with everything, but it was a hard fought win against the Bees, and Sean Dyche could look a little bit pressure now after they moved 5 points clear off West Ham.
Yeah, this was a result I didn't see coming, to be honest. I think Brentford have been very, very good. I think it's only obviously Forest won there. I can't think who else beat them.
Man City,
yeah. So basically, Man City and Forest are the only two teams that have won at the GTEC. So it goes to show it's a really, really tricky place to go to. But Forest did make it look pretty easy. Obviously, Jesus scoring a fantastic goal, and then the second one from Taiwo Wunyi. But Brentford have been very, very good at home. Disappointed, obviously, to lose their unbeaten home records, but they've been really, really good recently. But yeah, Forest the other night against Braga. I don't know if you've been watching Europa League, but I've been kind of watching a wee bit of the highlights. Gibbswhite misses a pen.
Yeah.
And then they go up the other end, and it's a Ryan Yates own goal. So it's 55 seconds, I think, in that passage of play, which is quite strange to say the very least. But no, a big win for Forest, because you kind of had the feeling that once West Ham had won that game, it was sort of putting more pressure on Forest, but they got the job done, which is the main thing. I think Forest like playing Brentford. Actually, I can't remember the last time they actually lost to Brentford.
No.
So fair play to Sean Dyche and his side, but they're certainly not out of it, because West Ham are slowly picking up points. They just need to keep picking up points as well. But yeah, that game on Sunday, I played because obviously we're playing the Europa League against Varosh people as well. I'll be keen. So that'll be a good game to watch. But a big win for Forest. Not quite out of it yet, but they'll be there or thereabouts, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, they'll be there for bouts in the league as well. Let's get to the final game of the weekend on Monday Night Football. I will take over. Tiana Barry continues reset 5 form. Scoring 4 ways when he pounds on rescue a point for Everton against Leeds United at the Hill Dickinson Stadium Monday. Leeds had a very good momentum with ourselves getting a goal through James Justin's first goal after with the deserted lead, and also. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a chance to make it 2-0 after he got a touch in the 6-yard box. He hit the post as well from Jaden Bogle's cross. But Derek Moyes made some changes to cost the game, bringing Jared Bradford time the season after full hamstring surgery, and Kieran Dewsbury Hall was made his return after he was sidelined since December.
Good to see him back.
Yeah, it was good to see him back as well. And for me, Doug, I think Leeds should have come away with 3 points with 3 points. I'm going to admit to you, I think we started well. We had the momentum in the first half, and I think it swung into Everton in the second half. But the first half, Leeds was taking good chances. The goal, Harrison had very good chances, but James Justin to get his first Premier League goal for Leeds was vital. And but again, Calvert-Lewin, nearly had a chance to score against his old club, and like I say, he hit the post. But it's a bit of a worry for Everton with the home struggle with the home form, especially at a new stage. Is it for them to take time to get embedded into since leaving Goodison Park after 100+ years?
They're always going to have a bit of a topsy-turvy time in their new home. Believe it or not, the Hill Dickinson Stadium is going to be hosting a Scotland international against Ivory Coast, which, for the life of me, I do not understand why. Especially, I think the cheapest ticket is £27, and I think the top ticket, sort of like for the very, very good seats, £62. I certainly will not be going to that.
Not with your legion, not with your legions. I know.
No, absolutely not. But everyone getting players back at the right time. Obviously, Bramthwaite's a big plus. Dewsbury Hall's a big plus as well. Shame about Jack Grealish, because I kind of had a feeling that Jack Grealish was actually finding his feet at Everton.
Yeah, I was agreed as well. Yeah,
it's a real shame that he's obviously got injured. I will be honest, I didn't see this game. I don't know what I was doing Monday, but I was just too busy to obviously watch the game. Seen some of the highlights. James Justin, unlikely goal scorer, but great running from him from left back, which I think was very, very good to see. A great finish as well. And yeah, Tierno Barry scored a very good goal. I'm not so sure about the celebration though.
Hey, listen, it's kind of my dance anyway, so I'm just gonna leave it at that one anyway. So it's kind of my thing anyway. So yeah,
it was interesting to say the very least. But no, look, I think it's Leeds are picking up points. That's all you've got to do really is pick up points. And Arsenal are coming to Elland Road, I think, at a really, really bad time. They've just lost to Manchester United. They play Kairat Almaty, I think, in the Champions League. They could probably rest a lot of players and still win that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But no, Leeds are playing some very, very good. It's a huge turnaround from where they were. You of all people will know. I know we've done a few of these, and you were calling for Farke's head. You were calling for him to go. Yeah. We all discussed it, didn't we? We all discussed that sort of that 4-match run where I think you had Chelsea, Villa, Liverpool, and City. I think you came out of that with two wins and 2 draws. I think it was
2 draws, 1 win. Yeah, and we've only lost 1 game since the start of December, which was against Newcastle. So yeah,
and that was obviously 4-3 as well. So no, look, I think you're doing the right doing the right things to try and stay in this league, and I think that the way Farke obviously wants to play, you can quite clearly see what he's been doing recently. So no, I think it's very, very good. Like, it's very, very good to see what you guys are doing, and I think you've got enough to stay up. I really, really do. If we're sort of speaking about sort of positions where you would want to strengthen before the window closes, where would you want to strengthen?
I think it's going to be we need another striker alongside Calvert-Lewin. I think that's the main important bit we need to do. So I think that's vital for us. I know we did bid for Jakob Strand-Larsen for Wolves, which was rejected. It was around 33 million plus 6 on add-ons as well. So would have been the club record, but Wolves have rejected it. I don't know if we'll go back in for again. It'll be interesting. I think what's happening. I think we're getting Jack Harrison away on loan at Fiorentina, which is vital to get the weight off of the wage budget. So I think we it's just a strike up position. I think we're Bonanate, I think that's a player that we needed since last summer before he went to Chelsea. I think he can help, especially with Harrison, who can rotate and can play up front. But I think Okafor has been off the boils a little bit lately. So I think it's the strike that he needs another tall strike up front that can play alongside Calvert-Lewin. And I think Charlotte could be that right fit, but we don't know yet. We'll see how it goes on the deadline on Monday night, because it depends if Wolves will budge. Because I think if I was Wolves right now, would you sell your best asset to prepare for the Championship next season? Yeah, because you know that if you because they're going to go a lot on the cheap when you get relegated. So you might as well take the cash now, but we will see what happens and pans out on Monday night.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting next deadline on Monday. Obviously, I've said to you that I'll obviously try and make the evening bit. So yeah, obviously I haven't done a a live stream for a long time, so I'll be a bit rusty, but no, like I think Monday's going to be very, very important for sure. I was actually going to ask you because obviously, while we're obviously on the subject of obviously January transfer window, which teams do you think really need to strengthen?
Oh, good question. I think the team that needs to strengthen the most completely, and I have to say it's got to be at least Liverpool, especially with the defense. It's a huge worry at the minute with the players that not being inconsistent with Konate, Joe Gomez and Van Dijk. I think it's an issue with that. And I think the other team that could be strengthening as well. And I'm looking at is I think Fulham are going to strengthen quite well. I think they get Oscar Bob, which is going to be a good deal. And I think they're getting one of the other players from Europe as well, from PSV as well, which I think will be another good signing as well. It's the team I think should strengthen the most is I have to say is Newcastle, because I think with them with the injuries that they are getting at the moment, it's a huge worry. I think they need to strengthen quite much because that especially with losing to Villa, and they have been inconsistent, and especially they lack the financial power at the moment. So
yeah.
But I think the team that needs it the most, and I don't think they will. I don't think Chris Pass will do. I don't think Chris Pass will sign any players. I just don't think they will do, especially because the players are going. They've only brought Brennan Johnson in, so I don't see the point if they're going to make any signings. So they're a club that's huge. I'm worried about because with everything that's been happening to them.
Mm-hmm. And especially as well, like, would you trust Glasner? Like with another, like load of money, because this is the guy who's obviously going to be, well, obviously leaving at the end of the season, but potentially could maybe walk out of obviously Mateta's obviously sold by Monday. I'm just trying to think of other clubs really. Everton, I would probably say they need to strengthen.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Chelsea, I think, are all right. City are fine. Yeah, we definitely need to strengthen. I don't see us doing anything in the window as long as we don't sell Andy Robertson. Because I don't think getting Tsimikas back is the answer. Because I think going from Robertson to Tsimikas is a big downgrade, I would have to say. Well, Man United get that midfielder that they're wanting. I mean, the midfielder that I've heard that was actually being linked with Manchester United was Wilfred Ndidi. Now, I don't know if that's exactly true, but this is a kind of a move you would probably have done 5, 6, 7 years ago. It wouldn't be today, I don't think. Forest, I think, will strengthen, but I don't think they'll get Mateta. Sunderland, I think they're all right. I know Xhaka being out is a big blow, and obviously I know Michael will obviously allude to that. Last time losing Paquet is a huge blow. I feel sorry for Mateta. I don't know about you, but his career has been completely rocked by these betting allegations. That obviously weren't founded. For sure. So. And then I think the last team that probably needs to strengthen is Wolves. Obviously, Roma are wanting that left back, aren't they? From Wolves, name doesn't go off the top of my bell, but Mola, is it
Mola? Yeah, Mola. Yeah.
So, yeah, I suppose if Roma get him, then obviously Tsimikas will probably come back to Liverpool. But yeah, I think Monday's going to be very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to the last few hours of the window for sure. But no, Monday's going to be very, very intriguing. And I don't think Arsenal, do they really need to strengthen? I think Arsenal are a good enough squad.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, I think out of the top four, maybe Man United need to strengthen in that midfield. But apart from that, I think it's Monday will be very, very intriguing, to say the very, very least.
Absolutely as well. Yeah, absolutely as well. Doug, thanks for that. Let's get into the table of the Premier League. Arsenal gap is now cut to 4 points with Man City and Aston Villa at the chase to the pack. Man United go up to fourth after beating the Gunners as well, with Liverpool missing out on the top, going into the top four. Fulham now behind them 2 points in seventh place, with Brentford, Newcastle losing their state in eighth, ninth. Everton still in 10th. Sunderland go down to 11th place after the defeat away at West Ham. The only teams that did win in the bottom half were Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, and West Ham as well. Leeds stay in 16th, where they were 6 points ahead of West Ham United, with Burnley and now 11 points behind Leeds and 10 points behind Nottingham Forest as well. So, yes, that is all to play for at the moment. And yes, you will talk about the transfer window. We have got some news to announce. So, the Total Leaving Home Football podcast will be doing a live streams, of course, of the transfer deadline day on Monday, the 2nd of February. We should be live from 11 a.m. We'll continue at least till 4 o'clock between the morning and afternoon sessions, and we'll be back on from about 6 o'clock to do the evening session on to at least with the transfer deadline in England, with the closing at 7, as well as other parts around Europe as well. So fingers crossed for everyone to keep an eye on that. So yes, you'll have Doug will be joining us. Stefan will be on with us, along with Reese as well. We'll discuss all the clubs. We'll get all the guests on who will be joining us during the course of the whole day as well. So thank you very much for Doug for joining us. And like I said, you keep an eye on Doug's channel at the Doug Football channel with all his content as well. Also with my content on the Total Leaving Home Football podcast with Stefan and Reese back on this Saturday to do the Saturday show. Stefan and Michael and Annie will be doing the championship review on Sunday as well at 8 p.m. And like I said, me and Doug should be back next week to do after the transfer deadline day. We'll discuss the 20 podcasts as well of all the games this weekend, including the big game between Liverpool against Newcastle, and also the derby between now, a local derby now, rival now between Forest and Crystal Palace, what the aftermath is going to be as well. So yes, thank you for everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys real soon, and have a good week. Take it for now. So goodbye from me, and goodbye from Doug.
Cheers. Bye-bye.